Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Crypto.com arena, live here from Los Angeles, California. We're on the blue brand and the build up to Chamber. We have one more SmackDown after this one, and then it's up to Toronto, Canada for the Elimination Chamber, and the road to WrestleMania is heating up. And we know this match is going to go down at the Elimination Chamber. It's 3 stages of hell. The WWE Champion Cody Rhodes defends against Bren for the final time. And also on SmackDown tonight, we'll hear from Cody Rhodes ahead of his match, his 3 stages of hell match with his biggest rival in the universe. Bren will be not in the building tonight. And also tonight, Rey Mysterio announces retirement, and that is in just over 3 weeks' time. He will retire. Saturday night's main event, Mexico is in tag team action tonight, and a thunderous return for Daniel Bryan. Came up a little bit short in the Elimination Chamber qualifier, but he's here tonight. And also Rhea Ripley, what does her road to WrestleMania look like? You're going to have to stay tuned to find that one out. And still to come tonight, the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. Carmelo defeating the New Catch Republic 3 weeks ago on main event. Hank and Tank are their opposition tonight. And to kick us off, can Lyra and Bayley secure the women's tag team titles going into WrestleMania? Well, we are sold out in the Crypto.com arena. And we're going to kick off with our WWE Undisputed Champion. The American Nightmare is going to get one more bite at the apple, but this time he holds all the cards. It is unsanctioned due to Cody Rhodes and John Brenner's attempt at ending Bren's career. But the WWE title will be on the line inside 3 stages of hell. And we'll have more information for that, the confirmed stipulations, officially next week on SmackDown. But Cody Rhodes is here in Los Angeles, and maybe he has the answers that John Cena doesn't. And that is why did we attack Bren them 2 weeks ago? Well, Cody Rhodes is 0-2 against Bren. And if he loses again, he'll not only lose his WWE Championship, but I think Cody Rhodes will be on the verge of losing his mind. The American Nightmare goes into Toronto. The champ, will he walk out? The message has been delivered. If Cody Rhodes fails at the Elimination Chamber to beat Bren, he will leave the WWE and we will never see him again. And just a reminder, folks, Bren versus Cody Rhodes will be for the WWE Championship Bren could become a 2-time world champion in this universe mode, and technically speaking, the only other man who actually is a 2-times world champion is the man that he is facing, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And we're going to kick things off straight away in Los Angeles with championship action. The Irresistible Forces have been the Women's Tag Team Champions now for just under 3 months since they were introduced on SmackDown. The only Tag Team Champions, nevertheless. With the road to WrestleMania heating up and heading to New Orleans, will the Irresistible Forces walk into WrestleMania, your WWE Women's Tag Team Champions? Well, one thing's for sure. Lyra and Bayley have not had many opportunities, but if they take this one tonight, they will potentially look at walking into WrestleMania, your new World Tag Team Champions. Not so much in the way as singles opportunities for these two ladies, the role model and the bird lady, but Lyra and Bayley got incredible chemistry. And oh boy, it would be great to see them walk onto the grandest stage of them all, strapped in gold. Well, no easy task to put down Nia Jax and Lash legend. I'm sure that Bayley, with her experience, and Lyra with her potential, will have a goddamn good go at taking away them tag team championships here tonight on SmackDown. And that's not the only tag team affair. We got a tag team stacked card. Later in the night, Hank and Tank will challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championships, tricking Carmelo fresh off the victory a couple of weeks ago against the New Catch Republic, who have gone AWOL since that match. And this past week on Main Event, we saw the debut of the Americanos, El Grande Americano, beating former #1 contender for the WWE Championship, Ilia Dragunov, to win the WWE Speed Championship and become the first one at that. And we're underway here, folks. We're not going to waste any time. Lyra slapping away, but the size and the strength of Nia Jax will prove to be the talking point in this match. Look at the strength of Nia Jax, the Irresistible Force. Not one to be reckoned with here tonight. Just bringing Bayley into the ring as well. Nia's a Los Angeles wrecking machine. Might need to call some help, and Lyra with a springboard attempted to no avail. A little bit naive there from Lyra, and now Nia Jax is just going to quite happily display her strength here in California. She don't give a damn about who boos, who cheers her. She's just here to collect a paycheck and do damage. And that lady with a Lash legend, such a high ceiling in terms of her potential, as Lyra Valkuria is taken to the outside, and Nia admiring her work and absolutely telling this Crypto.com arena, in the words of Liv Morgan, if you don't like about it, any of what I'm doing, cry about it. Lyra's going to try to fight back here, but just walks into a clubbing blow. It's like being hit by a heavyweight boxer, that punch, I can assure you. Lyra might be on Dream Street here in California. Trying to get to her feet. Nia Jax is going to continue the punishment. And the tag into Lash legend, who is equally as devastating, but this time she's fresh, and she's going to allow Lyra to get back to her feet. Lyra's going to go for the attack, and the strength overpowers Lyra this time. Kick to the midsection, and what's Lash? Oh my god. And we're going to spin around like we're on a merry-go-round at the fun fair. Lash legend displaying an incredible feat of strength there, and a huge clothesline taking down the one half of the #1 contenders. Now Irish whip reverse from Lyra. She's going to have to pull something real deep here. I wouldn't argue against looking towards the neutral corner for Lyra and making an attack to Bayley, the veteran, future WWE Hall of Famer, no doubt. But Lyra's going to risk it all with a leg drop to the outside. And congratulations, Lyra Valkuria for risking it all. That was successful. And of course, we were talking about main event earlier. If you do want to keep up to date with everything in the hemisphere, main event coming to you in live and exclusive in the Discord channel. It is via picture and short clip format. Everything is connected to Raw and SmackDown, so make sure you check it out. Also, the full roster page is on there if you do forget or want to know where your favourites are. We have a little bit of fun. There's a few silhouetted out people who will be in the series later down the line as we turn our attention back yet again. Crypto.com Arena is chanting in unison. This one's not going to go to count out. Of course, if it did, the Irresistible Forces would leave Los Angeles still your women's tag team champions. And a double team work here from Lash and Nia. And I believe we're going to see, oh my word. Look at the strength of Lash Legend. Look at the strength. And that's an elbow drop from the heavens. That could be all that she wrote. Lyra Valkuria could be finished here. Referee in charge, John Cohn, only a 1 count. Lyra still got a bit of gas left in the tank. I can't imagine how much so after that, and the senton follows it up. And another senton attempted. This time Lyra going to use the speed, but she just cannot get a hold of Nia Jax. This has been a dominant performance from the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions here. Another punch. And Lyra's going to fight back with everything she's got. That's that fighting spirit that she does have. Still to come tonight, like I mentioned, WWE Tag Team titles on the line. Trick and Carmelo Hayes, who are on fire at the moment. And hold on, there's a pinfall attempt here. They're on fire at the moment. Will defend against newcomers, Hank and Tank, who have a victory over the New Day. Who'd have thought it? Hurricanrana there from Lyra. She's going to look for the role model, Bayley. And I think this is a smart move from Lyra. And Bayley could be about to bail off. Walks into her. That's like a train hitting a buffer. And Bayley is sent to the ground. And now Lash Legend's going to exploit the damage done by her tag team partner. Backbreaker to Bayley there. Of course, much more action still to come to you tonight, including Rey Mysterio in what could be one of his final SmackDowns, or what is one of his final SmackDowns. Sorry, he teams with the guy who idolizes in Penta as they take on their respective enemies at the moment, Austin Theory and the United States Champion LA Knight. Penta, of course, staking his claim by beating Ethan Page to become the #1 contender. So Penta will go to Saturday night's main event, City, Mexico, and try and end the over-year-long reign of LA Knight and the United States Championship. Kick out 1 there from Bayley. She received that move that Lyra did experience earlier. Never a good time. Irish whip into the corner. And with WrestleMania on the horizon, not everybody can be on the card, and being the champions is a surefire way to confirm your spot. The DDT from Bayley. And Bayley is trying her best. It's just going to take one big move. That's all it's going to take to shift the tides of this. Irish whip into the home corner. And a double team tandem offense. This is the best way to take down Nia Jax. Oh my God! Combined flapjack there. And now Lyra's going to go to work on Nia Jax. What the hell's Lyra Valkuria thinking here? Springboard and misses. And an Irish whip from Nia. And this match is going to continue after a short commercial break. We are back with the action, folks. And ever since that, it's been all Irresistible Forces yet again. Of course, commercial breaks are something that cannot be avoided on weekly television. We appreciate you for standing by for the action. As we turn our attention back to our WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match here. A knee from Bayley takes down Lash Legend. And let me just say, during the commercial break, Lash Legend made Bayley and Lyra look like ragdolls. And now we're going to see Rose Plant. Hook of the leg. It's going to need Nia to break it up, and she does. Bayley not satisfied with that, tried to go after Nia, but of course Nia is now back where she belongs, and that's outside the ring. And a reverse from Lash Legend, a big splash into the corner there. And she's going to take issue with Lyra, who was reaching out for the tag to help her role model Bayley. And that was Bayley with a DDT. This has been epic action here, folks, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. An elbow drop from Bayley again. And Lash rolls to the outside of the ring there. Smart move from Lash Legend. You would think she's a veteran with that. Now Bayley might be seeking something big. Well, maybe not. Looks like Lyra got in the way. Maybe she's still seeking something big. Nope. But Lash Legend going to take issue. Oh, Lyra into the post. And Bayley's not going to take too kindly to that. Poor Lyra sent into that LED ring post by Lash Legend. She wasn't even the legal woman. Now Bayley's going to fight back with everything that she's got. And this one's getting messy outside the ring. DDT onto the outside. This match is, the stakes could not be higher. I can see why these women are putting it on the line. 6 count from the referee. Bayley's going to have to restart the count because you cannot win the Tag Team Championships via count out. And she manages to do so. Lash Legend would be quite happy to just lay out there all night if it meant that the Irresistible Forces walk out of Los Angeles still your Women's Tag Team Champions. And Nia Jax was going to take issue with Bayley there. The referee's very alert. Oh, God. Reversal from Lash. And I thought Bayley was going to go for it. Irish whip into the corner. Reverse from Bayley. Bayley is showing what she's made of now and looking to tag in Lyra. Well, Lash Legend is in big trouble. And, of course, do not forget that Nia Jax has already interfered in a pinfall. If she manages to do that again, the Irresistible Forces could be disqualified, which, of course, would benefit them. And now we're going to see Lash extension to Lyra. Good night, sweet princess. There you go. And a hook of the leg, and to retain, Lash Legend, and Bayley breaks it up. Still alive in this match, Bayley and Lyra. And Lyra, is going to reverse. And now Lyra, with everything she's got, is going to fight. And she's going to try capture them Women's Tag Team Championships, but to no avail goes that drop kick. And now Lash could be looking for the final punishment. And I'm not talking about Damian Priest. And Lyra's giving it absolutely everything. Springboard into the drop kick. Is this their moment? Taking Nia Jax out on the apron. That means Nia won't be able to interfere the pin. And no. Lyra gets there. One more big move. The Nightwing is lined up. And Lyra secures the pin. Nia is down. And we have our new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Wow. What a way to kick off SmackDown, folks. Lyra and Bayley are new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And they could very well be heading into WrestleMania as your champions. And the opportunity that Alexa and Charlotte could not take due to their own personal issues has been taken by these two women. And congratulations to your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions of the world. Oh boy. We're going to continue SmackDown with what I can only imagine is an enraged Storm. Jade Cargill, of course, spoke to Teddy Long, and we can confirm that she will get her rematch, and that will be at the Elimination Chamber. And that's exclusive news for you here right now. But Jade is coming into the Crypto.com arena, and she's going to address the universe here. And let's hear what Jade has to say as she makes her way to the ring. Of course, Jade Cargill is somebody who wants to be the top of the food chain. She always needs to be there. And if she can successfully regain her title, she'll be back there, and it will be a blimp on her record, that being the loss to Iyo Sky, all that be controversially at the Royal Rumble back in Arkansas in January. And Jade wants to put it down to a blimp. And of course tonight here, she's going to have an opportunity to address some final words potentially before we head to Toronto and the Elimination Chamber. Well, here comes the genius of the sky, our WWE Women's Champion. And I believe the time for talking is over. We are so close to Elimination Chamber. Can these women keep it civil? Well, a shot from Iyo. A cheap shot nonetheless to Cargill. Now Cargill kicks her off. And that is a big mistake. Because after we saw Jade land Iyo on some steps. And now it looks like she's got a chair in hand. And Iyo could be in trouble. You don't want to enrage Jade Cargill like this. And chair shots galore. And Iyo might be unconscious in another one. Goodness me. And Jade Cargill leaves the Crypto.com arena very, very pissed. Now we're not done here, folks. Iyo Sky to her feet. I thought we were done there, folks. Iyo somehow managing to cluster the ability to get to her feet. And this one's going to continue on the ramp. Can we get some security out here, please? Because we need a match at Elimination Chamber. Of course, that will go down inside of a steel cage where it is contained. But it looks like these gentlemen, these fine employees that are hired now, are going to have to keep this one apart from spilling and ruining the match. This one is reaching boiling point, and there's confirmation, folks. These two will go head-to-head inside a steel cage. Who will walk into WrestleMania, the Women's Champion?
A lifelong dream, finally within reach. But tonight,
the Elimination Chamber, the final stop on the road to WrestleMania.
locked inside,
By far the harshest of detours.
dreams can disappear. There is no escape. The anticipation grabs hold. Because beyond these doors, elimination awaits.
Well, here we go! Wild action here tonight. High stakes, high pressure. Ruthless, relentless, absolutely awesome.
There's bodies flying everywhere!
It is a massacre inside the Elimination Chamber. WrestleMania is on the line.
So we're going to continue, folks, with the United States Champion and it's tag team action again, folks. And this man, in just over 3 weeks' time, will defend the United States Championship once again, this time on enemy territory. It's an away game for LA Knight as he defends in the what is set to be a hostile crowd for him, as Penta ventures into his home country and looks to capture the United States Championship that LA Knight has held now for 384 days. But tonight, the focus is on tag team action. Of course, Saturday night's main event, Mexico City, is coming to you live from the channel. It's the first ever Saturday night's main event live from Mexico, and it will be the farewell as Rey Mysterio goes into the sunset and celebrates his career. The WWE Hall of Famer, well deserved, well earned. And last week, Rey Mysterio in singles action got a victory over this man, Austin Theory. He's removed the hair. He's removed the gear. Well, not quite, but he's changed the gear but still the same goddamn stinking attitude. Austin Theory getting beat by Rey Mysterio last week, and he has aspirations, and he said it to Rey Mysterio's face, to be the future of the WWE, and that's going to have to change. His look is going to have to change very quickly if that is to be the case. He teams with LA Knight, who betrayed the fans for his own egotistical motives, and that fits him perfectly with Austin Theory. Should be a dynamite team. Two people who have no respect for their opponents, no respect for the fans, and definitely are showing signs of not respecting the business. Austin Theory and LA Knight will team together here tonight to try and put down Luchador. And Austin Theory did vow that Rey Mysterio wouldn't make it to Saturday night's main event, Mexico City. If you haven't seen Raw, Dominic is after his deadbeat dad yet again. And Rey Mysterio accepting the challenge, and it looks like Dom is going to retire his dad, win, lose or draw. This man, for what is one of the final appearances, his last time in Los Angeles, for sure, Rey Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time. He's set to tag team one last time with the man who idolizes him, the man who sees him as the goalpost that he wants to achieve, Penta. Rey Mysterio will, of course, sail off into the sunset, and that will make way for a new top luchador in WWE. Rey Mysterio believes that there's nobody better for the job than Penta. Dominic Mysterio, of course, disagreeing with that. He will tell you that he's already the greatest Mysterio of all time. Well, I have no doubt that Dominic's future is bright. But of course, Rey Mysterio, 30 years of experience, is a long way to go yet. And here comes the #1 contender. And he's lit up the WWE Universe ever since signing on the dotted line as Penta, and still to add championship gold to his repertoire. Of course, in a few weeks' time at Saturday night's main event could be the United States champion, and only the second one at that in over a year. Of course, Penta will have to do everything because LA Knight will pull out the dirtiest, the deepest tactics possible, no matter what location, no matter what stage. And Penta needs to be aware of that. Of course, LA Knight already beat Penta in the past. Will history repeat itself come them weeks, or will Penta finally put the blue brand out of misery from the hostage of the title from LA Knight? We'll have to wait and see for that one, folks. But Penta in tag team action here tonight against two of the most hostile men on the roster. Of course, a victory here for Penta or Rey Mysterio would be a great bit of momentum as they head into their final matches in just a few weeks' time. Of course, Rey Mysterio will have a lot of lasts in the upcoming episodes of SmackDown. Of course, didn't partake in the Elimination Chamber qualifiers because he knew that his career was on borrowed time. And finally, he's put the announcement, and it's been official. And LA Knight going to work on the king of Lucha Libre, Rey Mysterio, early on in this contest. Of course, tag team action all over SmackDown earlier. We saw Bayley and Lyra capture the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Later tonight, we could see Hank and Tank win the WWE Tag Team Championships. And this one, of course, tag team rules, and Rey Mysterio a little bit too clever for LA Knight, and knees up from Knight. The megastar is looking to put down the Hall of Famer in a big boot, and he just celebrates his work here as he takes down Mysterio. Both men making a tag. It's going to be Penta and Austin Theory, and of course Theory with a cheap shot to Rey Mysterio, but Penta will have a receipt for Austin Theory. Kick attempted, and now DDT, and nope, doesn't connect. And both of these men trying to get an upper hand in this match. Two up-and-coming members of the roster. Sling Blade attempted, and a drop kick. Theory comes out on top. Of course, Theory falling a little short against Rey Mysterio last week on SmackDown. He's not happy about that, says Rey Mysterio cheated, and LA Knight getting involved. And this is reaching boiling point. And a Samoan driver variant into the cutter there from Austin Theory. LA Knight going to be brought back into the ring as he's going to go to work on his opponent for Saturday night's main event, Mexico City, clubbing blows down to the face of Penta. Collar and elbow, tie up, Irish whip into the corner. Theory and LA Knight working well so far. Roll up pin attempted from Penta. Could be enough. No, LA Knight kicks out there. And Penta going to continue the good work. Irish whip. LA Knight reverses. Going to tag in Theory. And I must say, if you didn't know any better, these two are acting like a tag team. They've been together for a while now. Not the first time they'd be tag teaming up. Now Penta might be sensing it. Kick to the face of Austin Theory. And he might be looking for that follow-up, which we know he does the headstand drop kick and it connects. Theory could be in trouble. And he needs to make a tag to LA Knight before Penta starts building up a real head of steam. An Irish whip there from Penta, reverse from Theory. Theory going to go for a clothesline, a little too naive there. Penta is ready. He's going to pull Austin Theory into the corner. What the hell's Penta thinking here? Another kick to the face. And now he might be looking for that big move. He is going to try it again. And it connects this time. He got all of that one. An Irish whip reverse there. Theory with a kick to the gut. Of course, big future for Austin Theory. Wants to be world champion one day. And LA Knight is moving around the turnbuckles, trying to maybe see what the best option is for him to get a tag. And now Penta with another attempt. And this time Theory is aware. Now an Irish whip into the corner. And LA Knight tagged in now, and teamwork here from... Oh, and what the hell? And LA Knight wiping out Austin Theory and a Penta driver. And that's all she wrote. What the hell? LA Knight has a change of heart working with Austin Theory. And the victory is for Penta and Rey Mysterio, but LA Knight with a clubbing blow to Austin Theory to cost them the match. And the United States champion was pinned by his opponent at Saturday night's main event. Good God. We're going to turn our attention to Daniel Bryan, who is in the ring now. Well, the Viper might have taken issue with something that Daniel Bryan said. Well, it's and a cheap shot from Orton. Of course, he's sick of hearing about Daniel Bryan's return this past week. These two are going to brawl in the ring, and we're going to have to separate this. Security are making their way down to the ring as we speak. And next week, folks, I can confirm the quickest confirmation: Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, one-on-one in your main event next week. What a match that will be, folks, because Randy Orton heads into the Elimination Chamber next week. And finally, Alexa Bliss gets a one-on-one shot with AJ Lee. Will the hatchet be buried if Alexa can get a victory next week on SmackDown? And we're going to continue with WWE Tag Team Championship action. Well, here we go, folks. Of course, Trick and Carmelo Hayes, a couple of weeks back, successfully defending on main event the WWE Tag Team Championships against the New Catch Republic, who won that number one contenders match a few weeks back. And of course, ever since then, they've not been seen. But I all want everybody watching, and I know for a fact everybody in the Crypto.com arena is honking for Hank and Tank. Of course, a big victory for them last week on SmackDown over multiple-time Tag Team World and WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day. And of course, The New Day taking a little bit of issue with that backstage. They claim that it was not fair. But Hank and Tank, nevertheless, have got an opportunity here to compete for the WWE Tag Team Championships against two of the best talent on SmackDown. Of course, formed together to make a tag team of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I'm excited to see how this match unfolds. Of course, big bright future here for the Blue Brand, looking at the four men that will be in the ring tonight in this tag team title match. Of course, what an accolade it would be for Hank and Tank should they win the WWE Tag Team titles here tonight. But I have to say, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, have been pretty flawless when it comes to defending the titles. Of course, they won the championships via a very difficult route as well. They had to secure 3 victories, which they managed to do. An 8-team tournament did take place for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and these two men walked out on top. And on top of that, they've defended that successfully twice on main event, once against the New Catch Republic and another against the New Day. And now they're looking to add another retention to their record. And of course, going into WrestleMania, will Trick and Carmelo Hayes be your WWE Tag Team Champions? We wouldn't be surprised if it's not the case. Already earlier tonight, we saw Lyra and Bayley walk out as your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The introductions by the Master of Ceremonies, Mike Rome, here as this SmackDown crowd cheer. Hank and Tank, I bet they're behind them, the youngsters. They're looking to do a massive task here and capture the WWE Tag Team Championships. They've been impressive since joining the Blue Brand. And of course, with the Tag Team division needing bolstering here over on SmackDown, they've certainly added a new option. And of course, following tonight, they might be the team to lead the division. Well, the titles will be handed over, and will this be the last time for Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams? I'm not so sure. I believe in Carmelo and Trick, but that's what it's all about, folks. The WWE Tag Team Championships on the line, and we're going to not waste any more time, folks, as we thank you here. Thank you for being here on SmackDown. Thank you for your attention in the clothesline from Tank, to kick us off, and it's going to be exchange, of course. Two brute powerhouses, but also extremely agile, Hank and Tank. They were formerly on NXT, former NXT Tag Team Champions, and a kick out one there from Trick Williams. You're going to have to do more than that to put down Trick. Of course, the question always bides with Trick and Carmelo. When is the moment where one of these gentlemen want to go off on their own path and seek their own goals? Of course, unlike a lot of tag teams like Hank and Tank, whose goals are to become the top tag team, Trick and Carmelo definitely have that personality trait where they can be quite egotistical, and it's just which one will break first. Of course, they've assured us that they're as solid as ever, but like I said, there's always a bigger goal for people with such potential in the singles division. Now a nice clothesline there from Hank. And Hank and Tank being impressive in this opening stages, feeling the momentum of this Los Angeles crowd, and a tag again to let Tank Ledger as Trick Williams struggling to get to his feet here. Irish whip, nearly sent into the corner, belly to belly from Tank. Now he's going to go after Carmelo Hayes. I'm going to bring him in the ring. They're not shy of bringing everybody into the ring here, Hank and Tank. Got to be careful that you don't take your eyes off Trick for too long. Otherwise, it could be a short night at the office as you compete for the WWE Tag Team titles. They don't get here through nothing, by the way. Now a tag team. Trick getting back in the ring. Tried to escape for a little bit of a rest, and a clothesline from Trick connects. Might need to seek out Melo. A roll-up pin from Trick Williams, trying to vary the offense a bit with a bit of surprise and a kick out there from Hank. Gotta be clever, Trick. Gotta try and vary because the offense has been very much pro Hank and Tank. And a tag into Carmelo Hayes here, bringing in what he calls his best friend. He's going to launch Carmelo Hayes like a lawn dart straight at Hank. Melo with a springboard moonsault there from the middle rope. Impressive athleticism shown from him. And we're seeing Trick and Carmelo work really well together. We have seen a couple of instances where maybe, we just thought maybe, and here you see it again, that one of them has, as we were talking earlier, has thought about their own aspirations, and now Hank's going to go after Trick Williams, and this could be a bit of the youngness, a little bit of naivety there, and now double team from Trick Mello on the outside, double Russian leg sweep, taking down one half of the number one contenders. Of course, got to be more smart. You don't want to be engaging in 2-on-1 action. Then it can quickly become a handicap match, and Mello sends Hank into the steps. And of course, count out is at 4. If this match does end via count out, there will be no new tag team champions. Now Tank's going to get in the ring and attack Mello. And Hank's going to go, Trick with a big boot. This is getting a bit chaotic, folks. As we're shortly heading towards a commercial break. Who will walk out the WWE Tag Team Champions? We'll have to wait and find that out, folks, in just a few short seconds. Well, it's milliseconds. And of course, taken down there. Pinfall attempt here from Carmelo. Hank and Tank continues after this short commercial break. And we're back from commercial break here, folks. Hank and Tank have managed to get some momentum. And as you can see, Hank is really pushing the boat out here. And of course, tag team offense, you can see in the top right of your corner, Tank Ledger actually busted open. That was via a trick attack, a sneak attack. The referee is in the way there. Might want to get out of the way of this, because it could end badly for the referee. He looks like he's running everywhere to try and get out of the way. Mello escaped. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning into SmackDown, the #1 show on the YouTube channel. Especially if you go by the audience. I know that a lot of you love Raw and SmackDown together. SmackDown, of course, the hottest show around. The Total World side slam there from Mello. And nothing but net will do just fine. Of course, if Carmelo manages to hit that signature finisher, we could be looking at still the tag team champions, and he keeps going to this kick here. He might be looking to go to the top rope here. A bit of confusion, maybe not aware where he was in the ring. We might be about to see a frog splash from Mello connects. And Tank realising that he has to break that up, and he had to, because that was game, set, and match there. That was definitely game, set, and match there. We'd have still had the same tag team champions. You get a wonderful view of Trick's back there as the action in the ring goes on. And we maybe need to hire some more cameramen. And a reversed Irish whip there from Mello. The offense has been all Carmelo and Trick since this commercial break. What a DDT from Carmelo Hayes there to the outside. Could be looking for something big here, Carmelo Hayes. Could be looking for something huge. And we know that it starts with N and ends in T. It's nothing but power bombs. Hank managing to catch him out thin air. And now Hank might be a bit naive there. Mello is looking for a super kick and plucked again. We're going to see that running power slam. Of course, made famous in the 80s. Of course, Hank throwing it back. Going to drag Carmelo. Wonder what he's got in mind here. Going to stomp there. Mello manages to escape again. A huge clothesline. Doesn't get all of it. And now Hank is going to take control. Reversed Irish whip. The clothesline again from Carmelo. And maybe now the WWE Tag Team Champions are feeling that they have Hank and Tank's number. And this could be starting to look real bad, real quick. And a punch attempted. Because I wouldn't recommend getting into a fist fight with either of these men. I think you've got to out athleticism and use your speed. A torture racket. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Melo taken to the ground. Going to tag in Tank Ledger. And the number one contenders have been impressive here tonight. A senton attempted there. And could we be on the precipice of seeing potentially another set of new tag team champions? Well, we will if this connects. Atomic drop from the back. Body drop there. And Melo with a super kick. And this could be all that she wrote, folks. Because he's looking for nothing but net. And when this hits, it never misses. And the pin is broken up by Hank. And Melo tries to take him out on the side. It doesn't quite work. But of course that will exempt him. And maybe Melo looks for another one. And rather than saving your team, a big elbow drop there. Oh god, and he's going to tag in Trick. And of course, if you're not aware of the rules, that will mean Hank is not allowed to get back in the ring to break up any pinfalls due to his interference in the nothing but net. But let's be honest here, Tank Ledger hasn't really moved since being hit with that move. Now Trick Williams looking to finish it. He's looking to put him away. And Trick shot connects. And that's going to be all that she wrote, folks. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And still. Well, Hank and Tank came and had a good go, but it wasn't good enough. Of course, using your time to interfere has to be a very, very smart thing. And we're hearing we're going to turn into the back now that we've confirmed the result of this match, because Charlotte and Alexa are having a conversation and we're going to listen in on it. And could it be ahead of their Alexa Bliss's contest with AJ Lee next week? Mami is in LA. And of course, Rhea Ripley has not been seen since the Royal Rumble, and she did come quite close, but it just wasn't enough. Blake Monroe eliminating her and AJ Lee to secure that opportunity at a world champion of her choice at WrestleMania. And Rhea Ripley is live here from the Crypto.com arena to announce what her road to WrestleMania looks like. And she was very explicit in the fact that she's taking no BS tonight, and that is the course of action, is to set sail for WrestleMania and put her name in the hat for potentially the champion that Blake Monroe does not choose. And of course, the women's world champion will be decided inside the hellacious structure of the Elimination Chamber for Raw. In SmackDown, we have the winner of Iyo and Jade in that steel cage match. Of course, Blake eligible to pick either should she wish. But it's up to her what she chooses. And until then, the other championship that Blake doesn't choose is still up for grabs. Rhea Ripley is going to stand in that ring and give us a piece of her mind. So let's listen in, folks. What the hell? That's Zarya. Well, Zarya reminding Rhea that there's more than one powerhouse on SmackDown, but we'll have to await Blake's decision towards WrestleMania. And speaking of WrestleMania, stay tuned.
You hear that? That's the sound of greatness. You see, greatness can be hard to track down. It's pretty elusive, even more exclusive. Just look at the ones who have been able to catch it. Nobody said it was easy. And the truth is, there is no roadmap to greatness. The great ones sometimes get lost, and instead of finding their way out, they gotta fight their way out.
Take your fear, take your caution, and toss it out the window.
So bring on the fight. The big time fight. The open a can fight. The baddest woman on the planet fight.
Brace yourself, you're gonna be in for one hell of a night. WrestleMania is a two-night event. This is gonna be good. I am fired up.
So let's go catch some greatness.
Are you excited for WrestleMania? Because I know I am. And our main event of the evening is as follows. It's a triple threat match for the men's Elimination Chamber, which is cross-brand, unlike the women's. Who will secure the final slot? Now, Ilya Dragunov was unsuccessful in winning the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes back in January at the Royal Rumble. And sadly, this week, a couple of days ago, just on main event, was set to compete against Ludwig Kaiser for the WWE Speed Championship. That did not take place, and in his place, El Grande Americano came out. A little cheap shot to Ilya Dragunov cost him the title, and here you can see the contestants: Bron Breakker, Randy Orton, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and John Cena, already confirmed for the structure. And of course, Ilya Dragunov is still ruined the day that he lost to Cody Rhodes, but of course his eyes are set firmly on El Grande Americano as well, seemingly putting in his debut something under the mask to capture the WWE Speed Championship. And of course Ilia, the fallout from that, should he fail to qualify for the Elimination Chamber tonight, which we know he can do, a 6-man Hell in a Cell all the way back on Christmas Eve, confirmed that Ilya Dragunov is no stranger to a hellacious structure with multiple men in, and he won that to earn that opportunity at the Royal Rumble. So if you're picking anyone, I mean, if Roman Reigns wasn't in that this match, it would be a bit of a different equation. Of course, Roman is in the match, and also a dark horse in the match is this next man who's going to make his way to the ring. Of course, we haven't seen Alister. Did go on a bit of a winning streak. The House of Black Open Challenge early on the launch of SmackDown was a fun little segment. He picked up a lot more victories than losses, including big victories as well. And that victory over Rusev in that brutal fight, and that best of 3 series, was an exciting journey. And of course, Rusev is out at the moment. He's away. He's obviously of Monday Night Raw, but main event is coming to you live next week. And the return of Rusev will be in effect. But this man, Alister Black, he's looking to cement his place and his ticket to the Elimination Chamber, because he wants to be on the grandest stage of them all. And then to do so, he's not only going to have to beat the man in the ring, but he's going to have to beat the most difficult challenge of his entire career, and that's seeing off Roman Reigns. Well, ones to the sky and all that. Roman Reigns looked surefire to win the 2026 Royal Rumble before his cousin Jacob Fatu tipped him over the ropes. Of course, Solo Sikoa, the former member of the Bloodline, also signed to SmackDown, and have had a few words for Roman a few weeks back before he lost his qualifying match. And of course, last week, how can we forget? How can we forget not only the debut of the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, or the return, sorry, should I say, the debut of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and we can confirm we have some more details on that MJF is officially signed to the SmackDown roster, and this is not a one-off gimmick thing. So MJF is a member of the Blue Brand, whether you like it or not, and I certainly don't, not with the way he acted towards our tribal chief. Of course, MJF debuting last week and going straight for the head of the table. Don't know if that's the wisest move from MJF. We don't know much about him here in the WWE, but it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and what his road to a potential WrestleMania debut could look like. As this crowd anticipates the man that he confronted, the tribal chief, the head of the table, and the big dog Roman Reigns is in Los Angeles. So put your ones to the sky, breathe it in, reel it in, and acknowledge him. Well, of course, Roman making his debut in the series at the Royal Rumble match. And it didn't quite go to plan. Runner-up isn't always the worst thing, but I tell you one thing's for damn sure. The tribal chief does not want to be number 2 to anyone, especially his own goddamn cousin, Jacob Fatu. He's going to look to go through the chamber and win the whole damn thing and punch his ticket to a World Championship opportunity at WrestleMania. And then he's going to make SmackDown or Raw the home of the tribal chief. Well, of course, there is 2 other men in this equation. I'm sure Roman will be appreciative of that amazing introduction. But, of course, Alister Black, who is hungry for opportunities. And, of course, Ilya Dragunov, who's already earned them, offer a different kind of equation for the tribal chief, something that he's never quite dealt with. Used to dealing with the biggest stars in the world and the brute force, the likes of Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker and Triple H. Right now he's got 2 of the best wrestlers in all of professional wrestling who maybe not are considered brute forces, but certainly can throw it down with the best of them. Incredible technical wrestlers, both of them. And we know that that's where Roman Reigns struggles. We know that's why he struggles so much with Seth freaking Rollins. Of course, Seth is over on Ring of Honor enjoying his time over there. Hopefully we'll see him again soon. And hopefully it's not too long. But Seth freaking Rollins over there, alongside CM Punk, who formerly was a member of SmackDown. And I feel like they've done some good business SmackDown here in bringing the tribal chief in. And of course, as revealed on Raw this past week by his cousin Jacob Fatu, Roman signing on the dotted line for the Blue Brand. Well, of course, the winner of the Elimination Chamber, or Jacob Fatu, could be heading also to a Blue Brand contract, because of course the person who faces Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, whatever route, if they are currently on Raw, will be signed to SmackDown, because obviously they could have and could potentially be the world champion if they can defeat Cody Rhodes or Bren at WrestleMania. Of course, that wasn't a spoiler. Just want to throw that out there. I just forgot that obviously Bren is everywhere at the moment. Of course, whoever walks out, and we might be in a position where Cody Rhodes isn't even in the WWE. Now a collar and elbow tie-up, and Roman may be the best tactician in the entire game, trying to scout the competition, maybe going to let Ilia and Alister wrestle it out for a bit. No, he isn't. He's going to get straight in there and a headbutt from the big dog. And this is what Roman's got to be careful of, the technical aspects. Of course, these 2 men incredibly agile, incredibly versatile, and will do things that Roman is not used to. And we know that's where the tribal chief struggles. And Ilya Dragunov looking to make this, it's a little bit of a ECW match, but Roman well aware. Maybe not the second time. Kicks from Ilya Dragunov going to take down the tribal chief. And now it's back to Ilia versus Alister, and nearly kicks Alister Black's head off there, Roman Reigns. So maybe find that in the loss outside the arena. He'll do a speedy kick that. And Roman Reigns is looking at a back elbow attempted from Alister Black. Roman lucky to get out of the way of that one, because he could have been KO'd. And look at the strength of Roman Reigns. being displayed here tonight on SmackDown. This is incredible, and this is where Roman is best in the face of adversity, but we do know that he struggles with these kind of opponents. Ilia might be looking for a German suplex, doesn't quite get the tribal chief, and as long as Roman keeps avoiding this offense, he'll be fine. Excuse me a second. And a big boot again from Reigns to Alister Black. And kendo stick in hand, the tribal chief might be looking to lacerate the head of the Mad Dragon, and it's been all Roman Reigns. Now everybody's busted open apart from the tribal chief, and this could be a direction that things are getting bleak for these two. And a submission attempted there by Roman. Ilya Dragunov's there to break it up. And of course, he is in the best mindset at the moment after losing the opportunity to become the first WWE Speed Champion, losing to El Grande Americano. I can't imagine that he's in the best of moods, to be fair. And pulling the tights up is Alister Black. And of course that black mask can end anybody. It doesn't matter if you're Roman Reigns or Jack Gallagher. That will knock your lights out. And a pinfall attempt here from Ilya Dragunov. Bit too early in this one. Oh, knee to the face. And that knee almost, well, I think Ilya's out cold. And then he kicks the life out of Roman Reigns, and he's going to go to the outside. And of course, no disqualification in these Elimination Chamber qualifiers, remember. Kendo stick in hand. And a big shot attempted. And Ilya manages to reverse it. And now we're going to continue the action, folks. Pinfall attempt here from Ilya Dragunov. Might think he's got the tribal chief done, doesn't. Kick out there from Roman. And now an Irish whip from Ilia, reversed by the tribal chief, and a Samoan drop. Oh, and another big boot. Roman Reigns is feeling it now. And this is the danger zone that Alister and Ilia would have wanted to avoid, is when the tribal chief starts to get into his stride, and a spear attempted and reversed. That would have ended the match. Now it looks like these two are going to team up on the tribal chief, but only for a split second. As Alister looks to put down Ilya Dragunov. Roman going outside the ring, seeing a kendo stick. That's all we need is the tribal chief with the kendo stick yet again. Alister Black going for a Meteora. And Ilya eats some kendo stick, and this one's getting violent, folks, by the way. And Ilya with a big clubbing blow, taking down Reigns. Smart from the Mad Dragon. Oh, God. And Ilya could be looking for it. That H-bomb connects. Alister Black's miles away, by the way. If Ilya is successful in the pinfall, is he going to be able to get there? I believe the tribal chief was knocked out there. Now Alister Black's going to go after Ilya. And these two gentlemen seem to be having issue with each other quite frequently. And a powerbomb from Ilya takes down Alister Black. And now, after the H1, might feel as if Roman's on borrowed time. A big clothesline from the OTC and a back elbow. And Alister Black is in perfect position. Superman punch. This one's over, folks. Alister Black slices her out in a spear to Ilya Dragunov. It's going to be all that is needed for the tribal chief to cement his ticket to the Elimination Chamber. So congratulations, Roman, on getting that final spot. What a stacked elimination. Well, MJF wants the tribal chief at WrestleMania, but Roman has the Elimination Chamber to think about, and look at how stacked it is. That's going to be all for SmackDown, folks. We'll see you next week.